Alright, we do folks here. Boom! Welcome to 05 numbers after the name. A little games beating action, a little bit of the Doom, the Dark Ages. And yeah, just a little bit of system of how I kind of operate here in terms of games beaten, and really a lot of stuff on the channel, but definitely games beaten. I've been posting games that I've beaten a while ago at this point. I've really just gone in order. Like, from the first game that I kind of started the channel and started doing the segment on Monday, games beaten, till now. They pretty much normally are in the order that I've beaten the games, but I just finished playing Doom, what was it, Saturday? Yeah, it's past Saturday, and I was like, you know what, man, we bumped this bad boy up here, and I think I might do that more for some of the newer releases and stuff, because oftentimes it might look like I play a game like 2 or 3 years afterwards, but not, in reality, it's just kind of the order, the sequence that I go on there, and I've been doing a lot of retro gaming lately, so those games tend to be a little bit smaller and quicker than some of the newer games, so that's kind of how that works, and that's why we get to Doom, the Dark Ages right now. I will say, Doom 2016, for me, at least in my memory, and I'm going to go back and play it, I think it depends whether I get the Switch 2 or not as to what the order of the next games I'm going to play or not, but it is definitely on the list before the year's over. I'm going to play Doom 2016, and maybe I'll kind of change his opinion then, but to me, that Doom 2016 is the better of all three of the new Dooms. I like Doom Eternal. I think it was good. It was maybe a little bit too fast-paced, chaotic. I enjoyed it. I played it. It was awesome. But there's no part of me that necessarily wants to go back and play it. Doom the Dark Ages definitely feels a little bit slower and maybe more in line with what 2016 felt like, even though I'd have to go back and kind of see that. Obviously, the big mechanic is the shield. I'm actually playing the first level here after I beat the game just to record some footage. That's why I'm just stupid stacked going back here. The shield is awesome. Because it allows you to protect yourself from stuff. I play the game on normal mode. I don't know, hurt me plenty maybe. I forget exactly what it's called, but just the normal one. I haven't played on any of the hardest modes and whatnot. I barely used it to actually be a shield. Sometimes I would. In all fairness, I probably should have used it more often as a shield. I would highly recommend it, but I didn't. I use it so much on offense, whether it be the rushing attack where you could aim at an enemy and just charge them with your shield and get there quicker, which is good as an offensive and defensive mechanism. Offensively, you could charge into a fight a little bit quicker. Defensively, if you're getting messed up, you can maybe aim at somebody far away and leave that fight and kind of regroup from there. And then the shield toss I love. I just love how it looks. I love everything about it. I like when you have bigger enemies, you kind of get the shield stuck in there, and then you go and rinse them while they're stuck. It is such a cool and neat and different take for Doom, and I got to give the folks at id Software a lot of credit for reinventing kind of the formula in these three games, or at least changing. I think the formula was set with 2016, but modifying it. I think it'd be easy for somebody to just kind of re-release Doom 2016 and go from there. But, you know, the last game had the grappling hook, and that kind of changed the mechanic and how you played it, and the shield really changed the mechanic here. And it's a much slower-paced game, I feel like. You'll notice, and maybe we see here in this bigger fight, where there'll be enemies that kind of launch waves at you and stuff, and projectiles, you can bounce them back, but everything is manageable, everything is operable. I don't feel it ever got to the extreme points of like Doom Eternal, where like 13,000 things are happening, there's different colors all over the place. I feel you could be very much more contained. Having said that, there are a lot of big and intense battles. This is a very minor example here, but there's this times like 100, and like in the last stage, I remember there was like a challenge they had to kill 25 enemies quickly, and I was like, oh man, 25, that's a lot. Nope. Once you get like kind of the bigger like the crossbow thing equal to the BFG, and you can rinse through them. No, there's easily 40, 50, 60 enemies on the screen if you want at times, depending on how you play it. So overall, my impression of the game, it's awesome. If you like any of the newer Dooms, you're gonna like this game. Maybe a little bit slower paced. I enjoyed that, but maybe for somebody else, they want a little more octane action, they won't. I will say the weapons are all there that you kind of expect. I mainly use the dual barrel shotgun, the rocket launcher. I don't feel there's an extreme need to switch through different weapons, whereas like in the previous Doom games, I did feel there was a need for that. That kind of seems to maybe be eliminated, maybe something that could have been done a little bit better. Obviously, the game's on Game Pass, so I was going to say you didn't have to pay for it, but you pay for Game Pass, so depending on how you look at it, give it a shot. If you like any of the other Doom games, you're going to like this game. It really, really, really is good.